everybody. Welcome back to Cruising in Alaska. I'm so excited today. I know I'm always excited. I have so many great friends up here in Alaska, but today I get to introduce you to Tracy Zadra from way up in Anchorage. She's from the Alaska Railroad. So hi, Tracy.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Great. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting us. We appreciate it.
So I have to start off because I want everybody to know how much I love you, and I want them to love you as much as I love you. So please tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about Tracy behind the railroad.
Okay. My name is Tracy Zadra. I currently live in Anchorage, Alaska, but I've lived in Alaska for pretty much most of my life. I'm 30 plus years. Lived in 5 different state boroughs, been involved in the tourism industry since the age of 19. Wore a lot of different hats in the industry, from working at the hotels, the airports. I drove motor coaches for a while. I was a tour escort throughout Alaska, narrating everything my guests were seeing out the windows, and just pretty much showing people my beautiful state, my backyard, if you will, and just introducing them to the beauty of Alaska and all that it entails. But for today, I'm wearing my hat for the Alaska Railroad, but always for Alaska,
And
which
I
is my
do believe
beautiful state.
at one point you wore a hat that was particularly sparkly.
Yes, it was very sparkly. I was actually crowned Mrs. Alaska America in 2010, a very proud day. I'm very humbled by it. It was a great opportunity to represent Alaska on a state level as well as a national level, just sharing in all the wonders and beauty of Alaska. Just talking with kids and young girls about the true beauty is in your heart, and you can do anything you want to do. So it was a wonderful experience, and a proud crowning achievement.
On a side note, one thing I love about our industry in Alaska and tourism,
Hmm.
there's so many amazing women, particularly in
I
leadership
agree.
and in tourism positions, and just one is more impressive than the next. Don't you see that?
I do see that, and going back to the pageant world, a lot of people have this idea of what a pageant is all about, but in Alaska, it was completely different. It was women, it was doctors, it was, pilots. I mean, it was a great group of Alaskans, just so proud to represent their state. So I was very honored with
Yeah.
that. But you're right, we have some incredible Alaskan women here,
Really
very
good.
rugged and humble, indeed.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess we better get to work and
Yes.
let's talk about the Alaska Railroad. I do want to say, just to clarify at the beginning, since we are talking about cruising in Alaska, it's important to know that on a cruise, you have the chance to interact with two railroads. Neither of them are connected to each other, and neither of them are connected to Amtrak or anything like that. So in Skagway, one of the main ports of call on your cruise, there's the White Pass Railroad, which is a narrow gauge railroad that goes up and back again. Really great, but totally different. What we're talking about today is
Yeah.
the historic Alaska Railroad.
Yes, yep. Ever since 1923, we've been connecting the heart of interior Alaska, Fairbanks, to communities along our 500 miles of rail belt. So our southernmost terminus is in Seward, and we just work our way up the tracks, connecting those communities together. And so the railroad was originally built to extract the gold from Fairbanks and bring it down to Anchorage. But word got out, this was a pretty cool train, very scenic, very popular, and it just boomed into what it is today. It's connecting people to the heart of Alaska, rugged mountains and valleys and glaciers, and we're proud to do that.
Yes, excellent. So I like that you said connecting communities, because
Yeah.
now what you're doing is you're connecting our cruise ship guests who come up
Yes.
along the Inside Passage with the community of inland Alaska. And
Mhm.
I believe that you can do it. You can connect either before or after your cruise. So tell us the mechanics of that.
Sure. The Alaska Railroad works very, very closely with our cruise ship partners. We're very, very close. We and deliver guests to the cruise ships that come into the ports of Seward and Whittier. And we can also pick up those arriving guests and take them into the heart of Alaska. A lot of people, when they come up to Alaska, they do that, 7-day portion cruise and don't make it onto land. And it's something that, it's completely different, itinerary, but we love it when guests travel up through Alaska from the cruise ship ports. One of the things I highly recommend guests do is start their land portion first in Alaska, and then let us deliver you through the beauty, the heart of Alaska, along our tracks, and deliver you to the cruise ship. That way, it's just a little bit more of a wide experience, if you will, of a venture in Alaska, because you only see a certain portion in the Panhandle. But when you come into land, you can really see why we're such a vast state, almost 3 times the size of Texas.
Yes.
So when you come onto land, we're a completely different experience versus the ports. So we just love anybody.
The Texans, don't we? We love to rub that in. How much bigger we are.
I gotta throw that in. I gotta throw it in.
So the mechanics of that then would be, for example, guests would have the option to fly into either Fairbanks or Anchorage to start their land package. So how many days would you recommend depending on where they started?
It all depends. You're right. We do have 2 major international airports, either Anchorage or Fairbanks. You could fly into both of those and experience just the interior beauty of Alaska, or the coastal parts as well, along Turnagain Arm down to Seward. It just all depends really on how many days you have. If you were to start up in Fairbanks, the Golden Heart city where gold was first discovered, I'd spend maybe about 5-6 days on land, and let us guide you through the beauty of the rugged interior of Alaska down to Denali National Park. Stay a couple nights in the park, travel down the track, stay in Talkeetna for a night or 2. Talkeetna is a beautiful, quaint town, very walkable, lots of history there. And come into Anchorage, stay the night, and then take the train, a 4-hour train ride down to Seward, explore that town, and then cruise on out that evening. It's a great way to experience the land portion as well as the cruise. So it just really all depends on how many days a guest has to spend in Alaska. If you only have maybe 3 or 2 days to spend on land in Alaska, fly into Anchorage. There's just so much beautiful scenery here as well.
Would 7 days be enough to experience both Fairbanks and Anchorage before the cruise?
I do. I do agree that would be a wonderful amount of time. Fairbanks, it has so much to offer. It has a rich mining history. It's got 2 of the best tours, I think, hands down. It's the Riverboat Discovery Cruise, as well as the Gold Dredge number 8. It's a great mining experience of what the early prospectors did. You can even pan for gold. It's a great town to explore, and then take a 3-hour train ride the next day from Fairbanks to Denali. Stay a night or 2 in Denali, go deep into the park, explore the flora, the fauna, get closer to Denali itself. And the wildlife in there is just incredible. Lots of different opportunities in there. Stay the night and then head down the tracks, stop in Talkeetna. Talkeetna is a great, quaint town. It's where climbers begin their ascent. They check in at Talkeetna, and then they'll take a flight and land on the mountainside and try and summit Denali. So it's rich in mining, trapping, climbing. It's just a great town, and it's only 60 miles from the base of Denali, and it's just incredible views from Talkeetna. And then I'd stay there one night, work my way down to Anchorage, and stay the night, and then take a train out to catch the cruise.
Great. And so I don't know the answer to this. The train from Anchorage to the coastline, is there any stops in between, or is that just a really, really beautiful vistas and mountains?
It's a beautiful train line. We actually have two summer daily departing trains from Anchorage, working their way south down the tracks. We have the Coastal Classic, which is from Anchorage. It makes a stop in Girdwood, which is home to Mount Alyeska. It's the only ski resort that begins its ascent from sea level and working its way up. Beautiful, beautiful town. We stop there, and then we continue down the tracks from Girdwood all the way down to Seward. And then there's our Glacier Discovery train, which departs Anchorage. And it's the train we have where you can jump off at a certain destination, go on an amazing tour, hop back on, and we take you directly back to Anchorage. It's a wonderful day trip experience.
So for people who are used to cruising, what is similar and different, and what kind of amenities does the train have?
Well, a lot of people don't realize this, but the train can act as a travel agent. So a lot of travel agents will call us and they'll give us dates. They'll say, I have Mr. and Ms. Smith who'd like to spend 5 days on land and work their way to the cruise ship. Can you help me? Absolutely, we can. We can track everything for them for the accommodations we book. We can book tours. We can book the train routes. So we're kind of one-stop travel for any travel agent that wants to partner up with us and use us for that ability.
Now, no one sleeps on the train. It's not a sleeper train, but I do know that you have good food and beer.
Yes, yes. I often like to say that we are not Amtrak. Our average speed is about 35 miles per hour. We want people to stay awake. We want them to see the beauty of Alaska. So no sleeper cars, but you can take plenty of naps. And there is food on board. We have some great, great dining facilities. I should say we have two different types of rail car service that we offer guests, because not everybody comes up to Alaska with suitcases. Some come up for a backpack. And so there's different economic levels of paying for their trip to Alaska. So we offer two levels. We offer adventure class, which is our single rail cars, great big seats, reclining, big windows. They can walk through all the rail cars, and they're connected by a wilderness cafe. Lots of grab and go foods, lots of different Alaskan beers, of course, bartender on duty. And then we have our second type of service, which is our Gold Star cars. These are the Ultra Dome double-decker rail cars where you're sitting way up high above tree lines. So incredible views, big windows, and then there's a dining car underneath our Gold Star cars. And with the Gold Star service, everything is included. So it's perfect for those that want everything taken care of for them. They want it all prepaid. So with the Gold Star, the food's included, bottomless beverages. You get 2 adult beverages per person, per train leg. And we have these beautiful, incredible platforms, viewing platforms on the second level. We have 6 of these rail cars that have the second level viewing platform. And they're the only 6 cars in the entire world where you can be above tree line, take in fresh Alaskan air, take in pictures. So it's a wonderful opportunity to really take in the rugged beauty and the landscapes of Alaska by getting out, getting that fresh air on that second level viewing platform. So we are very proud in offering those 2 types of service, whether you come up to Alaska with a backpack or you come up to Alaska with 5 pieces of luggage. We can accommodate any type of traveler, and we're very proud and happy to do so.
Okay, excellent. So specifically, we wanted our first couple of episodes of Cruising in Alaska to be a resource for agents who are booking groups. So what are some of the accommodations that you have for groups, whether, let us know kind of across the board, if it's a family group traveling of 6, 8, or 10, or 20, or if it's an agency bringing a big affinity group of 50 or 100. Can you handle all of that?
We can handle whatever you bring on. We have, and we're very, very proud of this, all of our reservationists live in Alaska. And so they know Alaska. They're very passionate and they're very excited. So we can help you out if it's just one person, two people, or a whole family of 60. If there is 15 people or more traveling, we consider that a group. And the ages 12 and older are considered adults. So we have a separate reservation line that you can call, or group reservations at AlaskaAKRR.com. You can book through that as well. So it makes it as easy as possible, whether you're booking individual FITs or you're booking large groups. We also have trains that you can charter. You can have a wedding party on our train and book an entire rail car to yourself. So we are very accommodating no matter what the group size.
How many people fit on a rail car then?
Well, on our Gold Star cars, sitting up on the upper level, there are 72 seats. Down in the dining car, there's 36. And we have a variety of single rail cars for the adventure class that can seat anywhere from 50 to 60. So very accommodating of all sizes. There's room for all. We also have, what we're very proud of too, is we have these Vista Dome cars that if you have a ticketed adventure class seat, you can move around. If there's open seats, you can move anywhere you want. If you want to play cards in the car, you can go ahead and do that in the Wilderness Cafe. But the Vista car, people can go upstairs and get a second level view, a little higher view, a different perspective, and that's complimentary. And people go up there for 15 minutes to take pictures and come back down to their seats. They can freely move about the rail cars, and I love that you're not stuck sitting in one spot for a 3-hour train ride. You have the ability to move around and mingle and play a game in the cafe. Clink a beverage with some new friends that you just met. So there's just so much to see and do. And the beauty of the train too, it's all narrated, it's all guided, and by true Alaskans that not only share in the history of the area or what they're seeing out the windows, they tell you about what life is like living in Alaska, what it's like growing up here. In the wintertime, what do we do? We have a great onboard staff, and one of the cool things about the train, there's so many. Our engineers are also working for our guests on board. So they're like the eyes in front of the train. If they sight any wildlife, they'll radio back to our crew, who will say, "Oh, bear on the right, everybody." And so we have a lot of fun on board.
Nice. So
Yeah.
For agents who are bringing groups, do you have accommodations for special needs or disabilities?
Yes. Accommodations galore. In all of our destinations, we have great railbelt partners that we are not only our friends, but our partnerships along the track. And we have booked block space for our guests. So if you were to call our travel agents, we can let you know exactly what is available. Let's say you're in Denali National Park on 4th of July, which is a crazy time. We have block booked space. So we can help find accommodations for you for whatever budget you're interested in. We have beautiful packages that we've created that are 5-day, 6-day, 10-day packages, highlighting whatever destinations or interest that your clients are interested in seeing in Alaska. If they want to focus just on national parks, we've got a package to do that. We've got a sampler package that hits all of our stops along our tracks. There's just something for everyone, Serene.
And agents can, you will support them organizing their groups, and you have commissions, right? Does that
Yes, we do.
size group or?
Yep. If you are an agent, and we'd highly recommend you partnering up with us, we would love that. You would just go to alaskarailroad.com/travel trade, sign up to become our partner, watch a quick webinar highlighting the history, the tracks, our train destinations, tours, just becoming familiar with the state of Alaska itself. We we become partners, and you have the ability to do either two things. You can call a reservation line and have them work directly in booking a package for your guests or travel, or you can go online yourself as a travel agent and sign up for rail booking. So you can go at your own leisure, look online and see what's available and book those dates and times for your guest yourself. So we like to offer our travel agents options as well.
Yeah, that's really great. So you got
It is.
because I heard from somebody else today that there are, even though it's only December, there are days that are already filling up for next season for 2019.
Yes, yes. Our summer season, I should say, is between mid-May and mid-September. And we actually have a value season and a peak season. Our value season is mid-May to the early part of June. That's where we're slowly coming out of the spring. The snow's still on the mountaintops. The grass is slowly starting to appear. And in the peak season, it's the warmest temperatures. The sun's up 24 hours a day, the flowers, everything is wonderful. And then we have our another value season, mid-August to mid-September. And that's my favorite time of year. It's the fall season. It's when the colors are really coming out. The wildlife are out plenty. They're foraging for food for the winter. And it's also where we start getting darkness. And you can see the northern lights during our summer months at that time. So there's a lot of reasons to come at any season, but my favorite is hands down the fall season.
Well, I love the Alaska Railroad for sure, and that's one of the things I think I love most about being in this industry in Alaska.
Yeah.
Is we're not selling our clients a bill of goods. We're
Yes.
selling them something that's so wonderful
Yeah.
that those of us who live here never get sick of it. I mean, it's
Yes.
the real deal. We haven't made some fake attraction up to try to just take people's money. This is the real deal. And
Oh, Alaska is the real deal.
you are the real deal. I love you so
You
much.
are.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me again. We appreciate it, and good luck with your podcast. And it's such an honor and pleasure to be with you, my friend.
Thanks, Tracy. You have a great day, okay? We'll be in touch.
All right, you too. Bye.
I love talking to Tracy. Isn't she great? I enjoyed talking to her last December. She started putting the pressure on to book for 2019. So thanks so much for joining us for another show here for Cruising in Alaska. See you next time.